it's me in the shed with my Ipods. It's January the 47th or something like that, and I put on some warm clothing, put a power cable across the garden. I'm back in the shed with Ipods and an Ipod substitute. So two things today. I've got a little bundle of MP3 players to walk through, and I've got the 4th gen to speak about. But let's just have a look at this one first. I bought a small bundle. I'm always, when you look at Rockbox, it lists non-Ipod devices that are compatible with Rockbox. I've always been quite intrigued to try that. A more scientific approach might have been to look what they are, because none of these are actually compatible with Rockbox. But I'll have a little fun looking at them. Main issue with them is battery life, of course, as you might expect. But if I've got two USB connections, I think micro USB and mini USB, I think, in a well-regulated universe that will go into there, but of course it doesn't, so we will have to abandon this totally. There we go. Right, so a nice little welcome screen. I actually quite like this. It's really light. It's got nothing to it, but it has pretensions to be a kind of flip phone Star Trek communicator. These, which look a bit like hinges, are in fact the speakers, and it has the ability to record, so it's quite nice for that, if that's what you need. I'm sure there are more, but you know, on the go you could put a microphone in one of those and a pair of headphones in the other, and press record and work your way through it. So we've got some rocker bars here, music, record. Shall we record something? I wonder if I could record what I'm saying now and then put it into the video that I'm currently recording. I don't know. Maybe what I could do is stop it and then play back what I recorded, if I could just remember which the play button is. That's still recording, so I need that to stop. And then I suppose I need to navigate to that. Not play and pause, so it needs to stop, and then it's saved, and then we need to navigate to it. It's about 20 seconds long, isn't it, if I recall correctly? So I think it's that one there. You're pressing all the wrong buttons. See if I can play something on it. This is great television, this is. I mean, there's no way this works. It looks like something that's come out of a Christmas crack. Anyway, let's try it. It did work. So that's quite fun. It does, as the man said, so it looks like something's going to a Christmas cracker. Battery life doesn't survive being disconnected very long, as we'll probably see as I disconnect it there, leave it there and watch it die. Let's move it out of screen. The next one is a bush. Bush in the bush. Now I remember bush, I associate bush with like big tellies from the 1950s, if I'm honest, but I think this uses the same connector, so let's do that first. Nice hello, some settings, and we'll be looking at battery charging mostly, but I think if we skip through, we have a camera on the back there, which is quite nice. We've got Bluetooth, we have a collection of music. I don't think I put music on here, but music is an option. Video again, photo, setting, camera. This is quite nice actually. You've got nice big fat kind of round, it's not a scroll wheel, but it fits the thumb very nicely. Back and forward direction keys, volume down and up, menu on off on the side there. I think that's about it apart from the headphone jack there, but it's got Bluetooth. That's probably, I think this must be a kind of a later USB, because it's got the slightly better of the four, count them, four models that I have purchased in a bundle. It wasn't massively expensive, but it was probably more than I should have been paying. Let's just move him out of the way, we can get up a big deal. This is an Archos, which I was quite excited to see the name Archos, or Arcos as a lot of people in America seem to be pronouncing it, because they seem to me to be a reputable name. Now, that is not going to go in there, so I wonder if it was the, I'll just put down this one. Yeah, they seem to be a name of some repute to me, so I thought this might be quite good, but I don't think it is when it comes down to it. At the moment I can't even find the right connection to power it up, which is not how things worked when I tried it a minute ago. Let's try another one for now and we'll see what we can do. This one is another bush. I think this must be an older generation bush. It's bigger, it's more plasticky. It's got a radio. Look, it's got a radio. Obviously no headphones in, but if I stuck some headphones in, I have some headphones around here, so we might try that later. Quite a nice screen. It's almost kind of early phone screen. Early phone, but you know what I mean. It is actually a touch screen, I believe. He said confidently. I haven't no video found, but that was touchscreen, music, photo. Doesn't have a speaker, but does have some photos. These are actually these cover art basically from the albums on it. So it does have albums on it. Yes, it does. I told a lie. It has. Well, for a start, it's got now. That's what I call 90s and similar things of that ilk. It has to be said that's fairly typical of the stuff that's on here. Very light and flimsy, kind of TV remote kind of style. There's the spec if you're into such things. And God, who would be? 16. Let's say 16 gigabyte. Not terrible. This little Archos, I'm fairly sure it was that, but it obviously doesn't. So, of course it does. Anyway, that's small and neat and not as good as I thought it was going to be. A bit plasticky. They're a name, but there's some in the Vision range, a few more better ones. I'll leave that for now, I think. Was I tempted to think, yes, let's branch out into other MP3 players? No, because I've got this one. I've got two of these actually. I've got more of these, but two of these have come in fairly recently. Now, I only just, well, these came, the corner was up, and when I pried inside, the hard disk was disconnected. The two halves were disconnected. It was sold really ridiculous, like tenner I think this one, sold that you could use as a prop. I'd always love the central headphone jack there. You can probably see the screen is a little bit iffy, and it was described as completely dead. I had hopes of it. Really what I should have done was not seal it up, and then I could have just shown you the innards of it and spent quite a bit of fun trying to work out which way the hard drive went in. But I mean, that's going to be useful for spares and repairs, particularly when it comes to this guy, which I've just got charging because it was a bit towards the end. Let me just once again sing the virtues of this, the Firewire brick with that connection, because so many people, when this was advertised, it was advertised with a dock such as that one there and a cable, which I haven't got handy, I don't think. Yes, that's it. Yes, there it was. This guy. Now, the fact that it was advertised with this brought quite a bit of excitement to me, because it was advertised as not working, possibly corrupted hard drive, but in fact all it needed was a little bit of Firewire love, and I've put Rockbox on it. The battery, I mean, I've charged it a bit there, but the battery is actually really good. It's been going for a couple of days, without any issue. This is the mono one. I think I'm, because of my fun with this, one of the things is that it's the thick, you see, and all those 5th and 6th gens are so slim and you can't, struggling to get things into it. It was just kind of reassuring to go back to a big, fat, thick thing. A Turtle Angel, you are more familiar with the world of Mara than I will know what it's called, but I've called it Turtle Angel for reasons that will become apparent. 40GB model. I'm just going to files and music. You can see iPod control. One of the things about one of the kind of default things I do when I get a new iPod is to stop iPod control being hidden. You don't want to be messing around in there, but if you just right click on it and go on properties and then make it not secure, whatever it is, you kind of just untick the boxes that make it hidden. That just means that if you wanted to rescue music from them, although it wouldn't, the naming conventions are a bit off, but you can do that. If I go into files, if I go into the music folder, which is where your folder should be, and go into this folder, one of the things, this is really juvenile thing to do, but I basically scanned my music collection for records which featured on the cover bare or semi-bare chests of ladies. And what amuses me about this is it's a monochrome screen, so you can hardly see whatever's going on, and I think it's a widescreen theme I've chosen will obscure anything racy from your screen, but I have to say heavy metal is overrepresented in this genre. There's that Scorpions LP with the sticky. That was the undertones all wrapped up, which I think all the band hated, but the record company decided to wrap a woman in bacon or something and use that as their compilation album where they kind of split up. It's great double LP actually. I've got that on vinyl, but artwork is not great. Don't even know what that is. A disco compilation there, playing something. I quite like this. It scrolls and then it's giving it all. It scrolls and then just occasionally stops and tells you what it is. Witchfinder General. There is some nakedness there. You want to see it. That's, I think, the Sounds. White Snake. White Snake are heavily into ladies on the covers of their work. Sinead O'Connor. I'd do a bit of writing for a fanzine, and of all the people I've written about in the last 4 years or so, she's the one whose reputation has survived, if not been enhanced, by my repeated listening and thinking about her. Chili Peppers, I think that's some kind of album compilation. Classic Slits LP from the 70s. Wicked Lady, again another band who like to have naked people on their covers of their records. A couple of ones which haven't, I think, picked up. That classic, is it Country Life, that Roxy Music album? A couple haven't picked up the artwork. That one and that one I think didn't. White Snake didn't. It's just it's more White Snake than you need, really. That's it. Is it Fausto Papetti? He's a saxophonist, and all his LPs. I don't know what they had anything to do with it, but all his LPs have naked ladies on the front. Somebody got himself attached to a version of Raindrops Keep Falling on Her Head, which is not what it is. Tinder Sticks, Life of a Showgirl, right up to date pop pickers with Taylor Swift. So that's that. That's a lot of fun. just like the kind of thing to amuse yourself with on a winter night. And one of the joys of putting together an iPod and getting it to work, as I said, all it needed was a bit of firewire love, and it fired up and it was fine. That's the kind of thing you might amuse yourself with on a winter night if you were, I don't know, what's the word, dull like me. Beats Netflix anyway. Right, I've got a cup of tea and it's going cold, so I'm going to love you and leave you. Leave the shed, get back out. I might have problems getting out because we're doing some decorating, and the step ladder that normally helps me launch over this bench and get onto behind it is not there, much to my chagrin and disgust. But I've fallen back in love with the 4th gen. Every time I do one of these, I have a different one I like. Get yourself a 4th gen, look for one that doesn't work, give it a firewire brick, give it a jump start, have some fun. See you next time. Love your music, love your Ipods, love you all. Subscribe and like if you like. Don't if you don't. Have fun. Goodbye.